Hey, everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Widener Show, powered by SoundCrab Studios. Visit online at soundcrabstudios.com for all your needs, and brought to you by official sponsor of The Mike Widener Show, international warring author Mia Moses Missing, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. We're here with an amazing gentleman who is an Atlanta violinist, vocalist, and a hip-hop producer, and began his career at the age of 2 and classically trained through childhood, inspired by the burgeoning hip-hop scene. He also talks about his music as well, too, and took it from open up music featuring took some time off, got his marketing degree, and also had worked and in the field as well too, and decided to come back. And he opened up for Soldier Boy, French Montana, and also played at one of the birthday parties for a wonderful DJ. Over 650,000 followers in social media, and known as a trap violinist. If you wonder who that is, we'll talk about that, and talks about his latest release earlier, The Way That I Fiddle, and featuring a recent single called Look at Me Now. Look at him live from the Plus Studios in beautiful downtown Los Angeles. The amazing violinist, vocalist, and hip-hop producer from Atlanta, Georgia, now in LA, and with an amazing career. Ladies and gentlemen, the multi-talented Zac Clejan. Zac, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. And I got to say, hell of an intro. Thank you.
Well, you got an amazing story as well, too, to tell, and I love it. And you grew up in Atlanta. You're a violinist, vocalist, hip-hop producer. You began a career at 2 and classically trained through childhood, inspired by a burgeoning hip-hop scene. You took some time off from work and or music. You earned your marketing degree, and you entered the workforce. You opened up for Soldier Boy, also French Montana. You also played DJ Mustard birthday party, and you also have 650,000 followers on social media, and you're also known as a trap violinist. We'll find out about that. You also had String Beats Volume 1 and 2, but we're going to be talking about your latest album release you released earlier in the year, The Way That I Fiddle, and you feature a recent release, Look at Me Now. And before getting all that, Zac, tell us how you first got started.
Yes. Yeah, a lot of dots to connect there. But I started playing violin when I was 2 years old. I saw my dad, who is a fiddler, and I saw my grandfather, who's a piano player, and I just saw them playing music from a very early age. And I really can't tell you if I was like, I want to play violin, or my dad was like, he should play violin, or my mom was like, he should play violin, but someone handed me a violin, and for the rest of my life, I've been playing. So I grew up in a very classical family, even though my dad was kind of more bluegrass. I grew up in Georgia, so I was around bluegrass a lot. And so I got to see a lot of different styles of music, but the one that was most interesting to me was hip hop. And so eventually it took me a while but I learned pretty quickly that what I wanted, the kind of music I wanted to make, was in hip hop. No idea how to get there, no idea how to do it. I just knew that's what I wanted to do. So it took me a good bit to get there, but yeah, we've been figuring it out, and it's been an amazing journey so far.
And sounds amazing as well, too. And what was that one precise moment that simply influenced you into what you're doing for the rest of your career?
So it's interesting to find the exact moment, but I can tell you some of the artists that inspired me over the course of my childhood to use rap and hip hop as a form of art, as my medium. So I can tell you about Gucci Mane, T.I., Eminem, guys like Chris Webby, Lil Wayne. Just really interested in how they produced and made their music through rap. And I can just tell you, just from as soon as I could start writing music, the one that resonated with me was hip hop. I wasn't a very good singer, so I wasn't the best at singing, but rap I could do. And I think what really caused me to take that turn, because like you said, I didn't know where to go in music. I knew I wanted, so I got a business degree at my University of Georgia, go Dogs, and marketing degree, because I knew that marketing was something I could potentially use for music later. And then that brought me to Los Angeles on a job, and so I was working in corporate marketing and doing music at night. And I can just tell you, when I realized it was something I could do professionally, was the first time someone asked me to play at their wedding.
Wow.
And it was a friend from college, like not even someone I was super close with, but like he just saw me putting music on social media and was interested enough to, reach out to me, and they flew me out and put me up in a nice place and just treated me so well. And it was the first wedding I'd ever been to in my life, actually, which was something.
Really? That's interesting. You saw your friends parents, in-laws, and everything get married, and you've never been to a wedding? That's a first. I gotta say that. So
Yeah, it's interesting. It's like that's why it's impactful for me. And I remember it being a thing. Like I'm on my Europe trip after I graduated college with one of my best friends, and we're talking about how I've never been to a wedding, and like what maybe I don't know, that goes back to childhood stuff, but it's like it's interesting. And then the first one I go to, I'm playing violin at. But anyways, so the second he handed me a check, and it wasn't for anything much or anything. It was not a lot, but it was enough for me to be like, okay, like I can do this. Like I can do this, even though just playing violin isn't what I want my art and end all art medium to be. I know that it can support me to build this concept of trap violin that I have continued to build on of past generations who've got the violin and trap music to this point.
and what exactly is a trap violin?
Yeah, so trap music is a subgenre of hip hop, and that's been birthed out of a few different music hip hop subgenres colliding out of Atlanta and Memphis and Houston and even some of California's hip hop, probably a couple other places I'm forgetting, but those were some of the main cities that this music kind of blended together to form trap music. And trap music is kind of named after the trap, which is a part of like the area where drugs were sold, and it's called the trap because there wasn't many exits out of the area. It was like a cul-de-sac. So if you one way in, one way out kind of thing. So, and then the music, has a lot to do with drugs and violence and stuff, but the production under it is really surrounding, which is what I'm really obsessed with, is the huge bassy 808s, a lot of triplet patterns, a lot of hi-hats, and then like one or two melody and sub melody or counter melody, like really something simple that a rapper can just like go over. And I just think it's really powerful stuff. So I took that kind of music and I basically just hit it in the head with a violin. I'm like,
Nice.
we're going to make this kind of music that's normally about violence and drugs and rapping, and we're going to center it around the violin. So that's what I've done. And I rap over it too. So I really try to take trap, rap, and violin and put it together, and that's what I call trap violin. There's been other people who've tried trap violin before, and they've taken violin and put it over trap stuff. That's great. It's amazing. That is what my trap violin has been built off of. But my trap violin is trap music, rap music, and violin music. And that's what I am proud to have been. I feel like I am pioneering that in the music industry. And so I just feel like I'm very blessed to be in that position. One of the pioneers, let me say.
It sounds like to me when you talked about their attempts at trap violin, that's taking like violin pieces like off the computer, little bits and everything else pre-recorded. You pretty much do it just live and everything. That seems to be like a big accomplishment itself.
Yeah, the live acting, let me tell you, it's really difficult to get done. And it's something I've been working on for a really long time, especially rapping and playing violin at the same time. That's really hard. But I do bring in some live tracks, which I think is important. But I am working on an act right now where it's all live. There is no backing track. There's no computer. It's literally just me and a bunch of pieces of equipment that I can create insane bassy drum lines and huge, just big sounds, and then my violin. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm trying to head. So it's cool that you see that.
And of course, since one of the subjects of the violin, who are some of your favorite violinists or musicians growing up?
Oh, I gotta say, Lindsay, at this point, Lindsay Sterling is like definitely the biggest inspiration for me. Just seeing what she did with the violin and streaming and in touring. She's a superstar. She's a violinist superstar, and like pop star almost status. Like she's selling out stadiums across the world.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah, that's you don't just do that. Like she is incredible, and she did it with the violin and her dance moves. So she's just I'm very inspired by her. And then some of the big violinists who came before me in hip hop, like Josh Vietti, a personal friend of mine, D Sharp, really, really great, talented violinist who really, I think, paved the way for hip hop violin in general. And then, like Marie Ben-Ari is a really dope one. She was kind of before I started getting interested in everything, but she's an OG for sure. I'm sure I'm forgetting some others, but some amazing female violinists is Zinma, Mappy, Joy Black out of Atlanta. So a lot of other violinists that inspire me. And this violinist in New Orleans, New Thousand, definitely inspired by him. He's amazing. Does a lot of that live stuff you're talking about. Like he doesn't use any back. Well, he's working with some other musicians now, and they have a whole show going. So I don't know what they're doing, but his solo stuff is all live. And then lastly, Raginder. Raginder is an Indian violinist, and he's amazing. I would say he was the closest thing to trap violin, my kind of trap violin that was happening before I started making music. So he heavily inspired me. Not even sure if he knows I exist, but
well, after this, he'll probably know who you are by now as well, too. And now you worked with some of the great musicians and following some of the trap violence legends along those lines. You also open up for Soulja Boy, French Montana, and you also have some music as well, too. We'll talk about those, but first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by SonicWeb Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. SonicWeb Studios is the answer. SonicWeb Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition rate. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. It's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. SonicWeb Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international war-ring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is illusion and those you love will be the first go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews. And Eve 11 enjoys by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassie, Forge Riley, and Maneos. So grab your copy today for Goes Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, or for 40 podcast platforms, heard in 100 countries, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also, Anchor FM, Apple Music, iTunes, Google Play, also on BitChute and Rumble. Also heard on Hamilton Radio every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, and few networks coming soon. Take us with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok today. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. T-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, hoodies. Makes great gifts 24/7. Go to Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, got Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia for great books like Missing, Once, and Wrinkles. Also t-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, phone cases, and more. Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia. Check it out today. I'll support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Make sure you do so today. We're here with the amazing multi-talented Zac Clejan, the trap violinist and vocalist and hip-hop producer, raised in Atlanta in the Mike Wagner Show, now based in Los Angeles. And before we talk about your latest release, the Way of That Fiddle, you opted for Soulja Boy and French Montana and more, and 2 of the biggest names out there, especially in hip-hop. And tell us about those. What was it like opening for those guys?
It was cool. You know, it was one of those situations where it was kind of very last second. So it wasn't it was at Soulja Boy's birthday party. And I'm there, I'm with someone I work with closely in the industry, and you know, meeting all these people, and she told me to bring my violin. and you know, I brought it, and I'm walking the red carpet with it, and you know, playing a little bit and catching a vibe, and then, you know, the party goes on a little bit, and then it's like, okay, Soulja Boy's about to perform, and they're like, you got to get on stage, you know, like, there's some time right now, like there's other artists opening as well, and they're like, you're like, it was like they kind of slid me in there.
Really? What was it? Did they ask you or something, or you know, how did that come about?
I mean, the person I'm working with is an agent. She knows what she's doing, you know. She had her contacts in there, and she just walked me up, and I think she showed them a few of my videos and probably my Spotify or something like that. And it was, you know, it was pretty chill. It was kind of like, you know, the other artists were great. They were great. There was a lot of cool artists going on, and there just seemed like there was a time slot that was open, and they just like, yeah, we can fit him in. And they got me. They wanted it was like they wanted the party to be a vibe, right? They wanted, and they liked, I guess, what they saw last second. Man, that's Hollywood, right? Like that's getting shit done. Like,
I guess they looked at you as Superman there, so
right?
Like Soulja Boy would sing.
Yeah, so I got to go on and play. I played some Soulja Boy songs, and then after me, he came on, did his show, and he did it and then French Montana came out. It's like, oh, that's dope. Like that's how it goes. I guess I just opened up for French Montana and Soulja Boy. Like that's something cool to say. And then the DJ Mustard thing was really cool. That was like peak pandemic. And I get a DM from someone and it's just like, hey, like, are you available to play a gig this Sunday? Or no, are you in LA? And I was like, yes and yes. What's up? And they're like, you have to sign an NDA. And then I signed it. And then I hope I can talk about it now. No, I can talk about it now. And
it's okay. We can keep it among friends. Don't worry about it. So
yeah, it's not nothing to give away, but yeah, and it ended up being DJ. I ended up playing like for his very intimate, like private 30th birthday party at his house.
Nice. And
YG was there, and I got to chop it up with them a little bit and play my music for them, and that was a really special experience for me, like because I look up to DJ Mustard and YG. The DJ Mustard has produced some of the greatest songs in hip hop, so definitely cool to be there and connect with him, and hopefully he'll remember that violinist that is at his 30th birthday someday.
And I'm sure he certainly will after this right here, and I'm sure he'll know about it too. And you also made your own music as well too with String Beats Volumes 1 and 2, and tell us more about that.
Yes, I'm so glad you brought that up because our third album, String Beats Volume 3, is out on Friday, the day after Thanksgiving.
Nice.
And so it's one of my good friends, Eli Kronovit, aka OD Beats. Met him through mutual friends out here in LA. He's from Charlotte, North Carolina. And we quickly realized we both made music and started hanging out and making music. And then, I think we put out an album before we ended up moving in together to continue to be roommates and continue making music. But before that, we put out String Beats Volume 1, maybe Volume 2 too. I can't remember the exact dates, but that is strictly like trap beats and violin. Like that's that concept. That's taking out my rap, and it's just like this is music you can study to, work out to, rest to, like just vibe to, like no words, just really good trap production that we both collab on, and then the beautiful violin and dope and hard and rough violin. And so that's String Beats, and I want to make like there's no music like that. That's hard trap to just dope violin. Like there's some cool, I would say there's some cool hip hop violin instrumental stuff, but like really like nothing as trappy and hard as what we're making. So like and the streams, we're about to hit 1 million streams on those 2 projects.
Nice.
And the third one's out this Friday. We have a 4th one in the bank that's coming out Q1 2024. I want 10 of these, in the next couple of years. So String Beats is I'm really proud of that and happy for that. Yeah, and then I had my individual album, my solo album, The Way That I Fiddle, come out in February of this year.
Mm-hmm. And we'll talk about it as well too. That The Way That I Fiddle, you also have the title track, Let's Run or Let's Go, and Run It Up. Also, Separa and more as well too, and Lollipop, My Favorite Strings. And tell us about some of those songs and what inspired you to write them.
Oh, great list right there. The title track, Let's Go, about to hit 500,000 streams on Spotify. By far my most viral song and video on the internet. And what inspired me to write that was the song Let's Go by Trick Daddy. It's what it's named after. Some Atlanta rappers got together and made this insane remix to Crazy Train. And it trapped it out. They made it ATL. I loved that song growing up. Like I know a lot of other people did too. Like that song got me so hype. So when I was just starting in music, I was just doing covers. Like I was just doing anything I could to get my music heard. So I was just trying to think of cool covers to do. And that one just meant a lot to me to begin with. And it's like, it's Atlanta, it's dope. Like what my thing was when I started was I would like do little remixes of songs. Like my covers would be, I would make little differences. I would make it a song, but it would be a cover, but more like a remix. And I made that was like one of 3 remixes I made in my mom's kitchen on my trip to Atlanta that I was there for. I don't even remember, some random thing. I was still working corporate. I was just, these are my covers for the week, writing them in my kitchen, wrote Let's Go, didn't think anything of it, filmed it, didn't think anything of it, put it on YouTube, didn't think anything of it, got like maybe 100 views, 200 views. Instagram, same thing, whatever. Years go by, I put it on TikTok. It's gotten 4 million views in 2 years. All from just TikTok, at least, maybe more, honestly, maybe like 5 million at this point. But like, And so yeah, like when it started going viral, I was like, okay, I have to put this out as a real song. So I literally took the audio file that I made in my bathtub when I was just starting in music. Like, this was not a professional recording or mix or master anything. I just took it and I put it up on Spotify, and that, I mean, it's doing numbers, and that is like by far what's getting the most people to discover my music. So I'm really thankful for that song and proud of that song, and glad that it's connected to Atlanta and all that. And then we move on, you know, we go a little further. You said Run It Up. Run It Up is my second to last release, and that song is like heavy into my transformation into like the real trap violinist, like my whole idea of like a real rapping trap violinist. Like, Run It Up is a rap song made out of violin. I knew I wanted to go in there and make a beautiful violin solo and sample it and flip it into a hard trap beat. And I did that with my producer, shout out De La, who I love working with sometimes on projects. He did the way that I fiddled to the song. And so yeah, we turned into a beat. I got my rap down, and you know, I feel like it needed another rapper on the second verse to really go in. So it's a really pure rap song. It's my first, like, I would say, pure rap song.
Mm-hmm.
No, I would say it's my first pure rap song, honestly. And that's number 3 right now on all my music. I have like 40 songs out. That's number 3. That's killing it. People love it. I can't wait to do a visual to it. That song is my transformation into a full rapping violinist. My first individual project. I was kind of doing rapping and singing during the hooks and then violin on the verses, and I'm going to continue doing that. But this was my first full length rap, like hardcore song, and I'm really proud of it. I love that song. It goes hard. Great energy to that one. And
That
then
is, go ahead.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, just the last one is the Lollipop. That was another one that did really well on TikTok, so I turned it into a song. And yeah, it's Lollipop by Lil Wayne, which I also loved as a kid.
That certainly is amazing too. Those had Fight the Fiddle, I'm in Charge, Two Wolves, Rich Bitch, and more as well too. And maybe just a bit about those.
Yeah, I'm in Charge is that's one of my favorites. I produced that one so I taught myself to do everything you need to do as a musician. And I owe a lot of people who I gave me some lessons and YouTube University and all that, and books. But I'm in Charge is the first song that I truly recorded, engineered, mixed, mastered, edited, like everything musically, like by just sitting here in this chair you see me right now, like and vote on this mic, like right here in my bedroom. And
Nice.
and I love that song. I think it's one of my best songs, honestly. And I wrote it because I was feeling inspired, because I'm having trouble finding a manager, Mike, to be honest with you, like someone who in the industry who's like interested in working with me. I don't know why. Maybe someone listening knows somebody, but it's been a struggle over the past few years. And I'm still a young artist. Like, I didn't start making music. I didn't put out my first song until late 2019. So like, I get it. I totally get it, and I'm cool with it. I'm cool with figuring it out. But this I'm in Charge I wrote in response to someone trying to manage me, and then the situation just went really bad, and I had to remind myself and them that, like, if I'm putting in this work and I'm working my ass off for this and dedicating my life to this, like, let's not forget who is running this shit right here. Like, you be like, if you really want to manage me, be on my team, like, we got to have a good understanding of like what's up. And he tried to do some shady stuff, and it's just like, nah, you're not going to do shady stuff to my business. Like, I created this. You're not just going to walk in last second. So I wrote I'm in Charge as a reminder to everyone to remember their individual power and to never let anyone take that from them. So that's a special song to me. And then one of the others, Rich Bitch is probably my fans' least favorite song, but I wanted, I made that song also from scratch, and I wanted a song that was a little tongue in cheek. I like not taking myself too seriously, and I wanted to show that in music, and I felt like I hadn't really done that yet. So Rich Bitch was an opportunity for me to do that, and I think it bumps. I'm proud of that song.
It's something you're proud of as well too. And the one song you're proud about, Look at Me Now, we'll have you talk about that. You'll listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by SoundCloud Studios. Visit online at SoundCloudStudios.com for all your needs, and brought to you by official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson Missing, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. We'll be back with the multi-talented violinist, vocalist, hip-hop producer, and trap violinist from Atlanta, Georgia, Zac Clejan, after this time. We're back with violinist, vocalist, hip-hop producer who was born and raised in Atlanta, now in Los Angeles. Zac Clejan here on the Mike Wagner Show. And we talked about your amazing music, how you got started, playing for all these birthday parties and everything else. And let's talk about your latest release. You got Look at Me Now from The Way That I Fiddle. And tell us more about that and what inspired you to write that song.
Yeah, so that song came out of a Instagram DM from this artist named A-Rob. Shout out A-Rob out of Philly. He's a rapper, engineer, mixer, and he reached out to me, I believe. I think you might have seen me on social media and was like, yo, I'm coming to LA. Like, let's link and see what we can make. And I checked out his music. I liked his sound. I liked his vibe. So he pulled up to my house one day and we just literally sat in my studio, and I have a bunch of violin loops I make every week that are, you can start music from. And we just went through them, and pretty quick, I would say like within 15 seconds, we found something. We're like, okay, let's do that. And
wow, that was quick. Usually takes hours and hours and hours and days trying to find something, but 15 seconds, you got something? That's a record.
I got some fire loops, Mike. I got some fire loops. I'm proud of my loops. And we got, and then like 10, 15 minutes later, we had the beat made. And then 5 minutes after that, we had the hook down. And then like 10 minutes after that, we had the pre-hook, and the song just kind of made itself. And that's the best kind of art, well, not the best kind, I would say, but that's the easiest kind of art, when it just like, it's like butter. And I'm thankful. I'm very proud of myself, honestly, because I've been in a few situations now where, like, if I get in the room with a producer and we get to work, like, I'm hoping it's a combination of both, but it's like butter. We make some really good shit. I'm finding myself very versatile with other artists as I collab more, and I'm very happy about that. But so this one is about basically looking back. It's just that it's the feeling of nostalgia when you like look back and you think of like where you come from and to where you are now, and what that represents to you. We're kind of leaving that ambiguous. But to me, it means just perseverance and belief, and to never stop dreaming. That's what I'm proud of, looking at myself back then and now. And the song is surrounding this amazing violin loop, and A-Rob and I both rap about it. And it features a beautiful violin hook. And the song is doing numbers. It's got 15K in its first like 10 days, 15K streams, which is like by far and away my best record in a song. So it's doing well, and people seem to like it. And it got streamed 4,000 times on Sunday in like Clark's Summit. I don't remember where that is, but
Clark's Summit.
Clark's Summit.
I'm gonna have to look that up. If anybody from Clark's Summit is listening, make sure you let us know where it is so we can add on. Okay, if anybody's from
Pennsylvania. I'm listening to it 4,000 times the other day, so it's just like I'm happy. Like, that's another example. Like, Run It Up and then Look at Me Now. Like, those are my last two songs, and those are just, I'm really glad to be ending the year with them. Those songs, because they represent to me like pretty much my transformation from violinist to the trap violinist. And it's kind of like it's a pretty clear image of the vision and the brand and the music I'm trying to make, that I'm really proud of, and I feel like is very unique.
And certainly as well too. And where can we find all your music at, including The Way That I Fiddle, Look at Me Now, and all your tunes, including String Beats Volumes 1 and 2? Where can we find all your music at?
So the best way to find it is by searching my artist name, which is my last name, which is Clejan, and that is Clejan. I'm on all platforms, so you will find me anywhere. And if you forget how to spell it, just search The Trap Violinist on Google, and then or YouTube or wherever you want to find it, and then I'm sure it'll come up. But that's where you find it. And then the links in all my social media profiles will take you there as well. And I'm on social media at The Trap Violinist.
We will certainly check that out. Once again, we're with Atlanta violinist, vocalist, hip hop producer, and trap violinist Zac Clejan here on the Mike Wagner Show. And just a few more minutes here. What else can we expect from you in 2022 and 23 and beyond, Zac?
So I'm tripling down on everything, Mike. Things seem to be going in the right direction. So for me, it's going to be more music. I'm trying to release a song every 2 to 4 weeks, a new song, at least 2 albums next year, at least 1 string beats, hopefully 2, and definitely 1 individual solo album. More content. I post content twice a day on almost every platform: TikTok, Reels, Facebook Reels, Twitter, Snapchat, Pinterest, all the above. So, and YouTube Shorts. So definitely everyone keep following me and supporting me on there, and more content, more music. I want to do a tour. I'm trying to tour with, I'm happy to open for any hip hop act that's doing their thing. I would love to get on tour with an instrumental act that we can vibe off and do our thing off of, but I would love to go on tour. That is a dream of mine. Not really sure how I'm going to get there, but we're going to, we're going to keep making music and just grinding to increase the brand until we do. And then, yeah, that's, those are the big three I'm hoping. And then, those are the big three.
And we're certainly looking forward to that, Zac, as well, too. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
Lindsey Sterling.
Okay.
Lindsey Sterling. She proved the market. She proved the market for what I wanted. I wanted to, if I was going to do music this way and take this risk, because it absolutely is a risk. She proved, in my opinion, she proved the market for me and showed that there was a worldwide market for unique violin powered music. And she could do it on grandiose rock star, pop star levels. And that's where I want to go. So I don't know if I would have taken the leap without her proving the market and showing me it can be done.
And certainly as well, too, and hopefully blaze a new generation of, people like that. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
Perspective is everything, and think outside the box. If I had grown up realizing that I could play this violin this way to this type of music that I really loved, it would have been a different experience for me. I was really forced to play classical music my whole life, and I didn't find a lot of joy in that. In fact, I was kind of embarrassed about it. And looking back, that's a shame, because there's nothing to be embarrassed of. In fact, it's cool. And I'm happy to, I hope, be an example of that. And like you said, inspire a new generation of violinists, instrumentalists as a whole, to really think outside the box, because in music, there are no limits. And that's a beautiful thing about music.
And certainly a beautiful thing as well, too. We're here with the multi-talented violinist, vocalist, hip-hop producer, and trap violinist, Zac Clejan, here on the Mike Wagner Show. Zac, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Learned a lot. Looking forward to having you again soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. We'll have you back. Once again, give us your website. How do we contact you? Where can people purchase or check out your music?
Yes, thank you so much for having me, Mike. I had a great time talking about my music. Thank you so much.
And what's your website?
My website is www.clejan.com, Clejan. You can find the music everywhere by just searching Clejan, wherever you listen to music, Clejan. I have merch out if you want to go check it out. I have a wonderful Patreon community that helps support my art, and we'll get backstage tickets for life if that's something that interests you. Please check out the music, and if you like it, share it with your friends. I would love to come play a show near you soon, and all the data I have that shows I have listeners in your city, the better. So thank you so much.
We'll certainly do that. Once again, Zac, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely amazing. Looking forward to him soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Love having you back. We wish you all the best. And Zac, you definitely have a great future ahead of you.
Thank you. Go Dogs.